everybody. Welcome to Perfectly Palm Beach. I'm your host, Jayne Chase, and this is the place for a lively conversation with very busy and interesting Palm Beachers, and everybody in town has something to say. So that leads me right into my co-host who has a lot to say. Welcome, Guy Clark. Thank you so much for being with me this month.
Thanks, Jayne. It's a pleasure to be back.
I love having you here. It's so much fun.
I love to be here.
Because you have a lot to say.
Well, you and I have a lot to say together. I think that's why I'm here.
But you are incredibly busy.
Yes,
I'm just going to, full disclosure, everybody, I was at Guy's house on Sunday, and his phone and his laptop and everything was blowing up because he's a real estate agent. He's an interior designer. And the fact that you're like the total coolest, like reality star in Sweden, that's not why your phone was blowing up, but that is also part of your accolades.
You know what? I just say, take it while it comes to you, you know?
Ride the wave, baby.
Exactly.
Ride the wave. Speaking of waves, we've had incredible surf in Palm Beach recently, haven't we?
I wouldn't know about that because I don't go in the ocean.
Oh my God.
I'm scared to death.
Well, our producer Mike does, so he's a big surfer. But really the surf has been wild. The waves have been starting out like a mile and a half, if not further. And it's been a little cool in Palm Beach, right?
I kind of like sweater weather.
Me too.
I miss it. And, being from
New England.
Yeah, New England and New York, I miss the sweaters.
Yes.
I don't care about the snow or anything else. I just miss the clothes.
A closet of coats that
all
I'm
the
dying
cashmere
to wear in the cashmere.
True. I know.
So can you believe we're in November?
No, Jayne, it doesn't feel like November. I don't know what it feels like, but it's Thanksgiving time. So what have you got to be thankful for, Jayne?
Oh my gosh.
I know.
I could dissolve into tears right here because as every mother knows, you're as happy as your least happiest child.
And your kids are both happy.
And my kids are really happy.
Yeah.
So I'm so grateful for my kids and my husband and my family and my health.
I know. Isn't that nice?
Yes.
It's good. It's good to be healthy.
Knock on wood a million times, right?
I know. And don't you feel that we're finally at a stage in the pandemic in this town in particular, in this area, that we feel a little bit more open than we did before?
Yes, definitely.
Yes. I'm very grateful.
Yeah. So you tell us what you're grateful for besides the fact that this town is opening up and we're getting past the pandemic.
That's
specifically.
Yeah. Well, I'm grateful for all my work because you never know when those things come and go. There's an ebb and a flow to anything. And
yes.
I know that being an interior designer for 20 blah, blah years, I don't even want to say how many years I've been doing this, that there's an ebb and a flow. And there was a time, in 2008 to 2010 that it was slow. And even the richest people stopped decorating their big homes. It was very strange.
Yeah.
So just having a constant flow of work and new clients and, everyone's always moving down to Florida in particular, but Palm Beach precisely.
Exactly.
Everyone wants to be here now.
Exactly. So there was that amazing story that was in the Financial Times last week.
That's right.
About how Palm Beach is completely
oversold.
Out. Right. It's sold out.
It included one of my listings.
Yes.
In the building that you live in, which
yes.
will remain nameless.
Yes. We don't want all of our fans to know.
Oh, no. They're going to stalkers and all that.
Yeah, all of our stalkers. Anyways, well, that leads us right into our wonderful guest for today.
Yes. Jim.
Would you like to introduce him?
Yeah. Jim Dove is a fabulous designer of kitchens. He has an architectural background.
Yes.
And he has his own showroom on Dixie, which I was there today.
I like to call it an atelier.
Well, yeah, that's
because
true.
When you walk, it's so beautiful. And not only...
It's not what you expect.
It's not what you expect.
No.
And it's not that he has just a master's in architecture and he is the principal at Dove Design Studios, but he has been on NBC and HGTV and has been highlighted in almost every single solitary magazine there is in the world. So,
well, what he does is really quality work. It's not this type of stuff where you just run of the mill, crank him out.
Right.
He does real quality work.
Should we just talk about him and then not introduce him? Because
let's not talk. Let's not introduce him at all and just talk about him. I don't think he'd mind.
So, welcome, Mr. Jim Dove.
Well, thank you. Jim. Thank you for having me. I'm thrilled to be here.
Welcome.
And like you said earlier, surf is up in Palm Beach, both in the ocean and on the land. It's been a really great time to be here. And I'm thrilled to be with you two today.
Oh, thank you.
Thank you. We're thrilled to have you here on Perfectly Palm Beach. So tell us, because I think historically, kitchens in Palm Beach were not for anyone to really use because everybody is out all the time, right?
Right.
But I think because families are growing and life has changed so much, explain that to everybody because I'm sure you're seeing a huge change in the design
doors
trend.
have certainly opened for kitchens in Palm Beach and everywhere,
Right.
because the kitchen is the new center of the home.
Heart of the home.
And everyone is still taking the walls down to be part of the house, but also for views.
Because you can see the ocean. You don't want to block that,
right?
Or the intercoastal or wherever you are.
I think if you also have entertaining in your capacity all the time,
right?
Like I do, you want to have who's ever cooking engaging with your guests.
Absolutely.
Now, in my instance, we don't cook, so I put a wall up so you don't see the kitchen
when
as
you
much.
open the takeout bag,
right,
put it on the plates,
right. I do both. We do behind doors and out front, and it depends on who is my client. If the client is not a cook, they will still do a kitchen because you have to have a kitchen.
You have to have a kitchen.
In terms of resale, you're saying.
In terms of resale.
Well,
absolutely.
You never know.
And everyone has a beautiful home here in Palm Beach. Mm-hmm. So everyone wants everything beautiful.
That's right.
So that includes the kitchen.
Even if it's their second, third, and fourth residence, they still want to have a full open, high tech, on point kitchen, right?
Modern kitchen, functioning modern kitchen.
Right.
And also they want it to architecturally speak to who they are, who the house is, and their style.
Yeah.
Right,
so all of those things are very important to them and most to the kitchen.
So I have a question. I had a client of mine, a design client, come to me just this weekend and say, I love your design, Guy, but I'm not sure that the waterfall is going to be long lasting on the sides of the kitchen cabinets.
Right.
What are people saying
Yeah,
to
she
you?
thought maybe that trend was going to leave.
Right.
Well, as an architect, everything needs a reason and a purpose.
Yeah.
And the waterfall is wonderfully architectural, but also very durable at the end. And it's clean. It's a clean look. And I think it's here to stay if it's used in the right way.
Right.
It has to be used in the right way.
What about technology, Jim? Because I see lots of ads for, talking TVs and talking refrigerators and oh no, that's 450 calories. You can't eat that. You had steak last night.
Right.
I mean, it's just incredible, right?
Right.
Are we moving in that direction in terms of design for kitchens?
I don't think at the end I work in the custom end of design, people want their kitchens to be like a living room, like a family room. They want it to be quiet. The talking refrigerator, we don't need the refrigerator talking to us or the range talking to us.
Right.
I've been doing L'Atelier ranges from Paris, and they are turn of the century technology. There's no bells and whistles, and it's
so
gas. You turn it on, you turn it off. There's no digital
it's interesting
technology.
People want that kind of simplicity since our lives are so technology driven.
But I think that there's an ebb and a flow to these things where people go from one direction completely to the other way.
Right.
Like I have an old Aga in my house. That's the opposite of what everybody's doing now.
Right.
Well, I don't know how to use the damn thing, but
but it's always hot. It's always hot.
Yeah. It's always hot.
You have an Augie here in Florida?
No. At my country house.
Oh, right.
So,
that's perfect.
Yeah, it makes sense.
Perfect there.
So my other question is to you, with all the technology that people are thinking about putting into their kitchens, how do you decide really what's appropriate for someone if they don't cook? For instance, there's the majority of people in Palm Beach really don't cook. They're out every night, right? And most people that are coming for these custom kitchens are probably wanting what is the best thing. They probably don't even ask you what it is. Give me the best kitchen, Jim. Right.
And that's what I do.
Right. Of course, that's what you do. And in your cabinetry, I completely understand that. But at what point do you decide, okay, this person needs this high-tech refrigerator that does their laundry or whatever? You know how it is.
That's a good idea.
Right. But also, you know how I put in something for someone where they didn't want to touch anything. So below the cabinets, I had all these pedals that you tap
for the sinks.
For the sinks.
Right, fabulous.
And everything.
They didn't want to touch it.
They didn't want to touch anything. It's
chicken fingers.
It's very OCD, right?
No. She's a big cook.
Yeah.
So she didn't want to get chicken fat or something
Right.
on her
Oh.
cabinets and everything.
Right.
So everything underneath the cabinets had pedals to open the doors. And so she didn't have to touch latch anything.
Wow.
Oh, yeah. It was pretty amazing.
Fabulous.
Yeah, but it gets confusing if you don't know. If you're like a person that doesn't know what that is, you go to turn on the water and the water doesn't work.
Right.
Yet it's a pedal underneath.
Right, because you hit the wrong pedal.
Right. Or, yeah, the cabinet door opens instead of the water coming on.
Way
It is a
too
little
complicated.
You're way too complicated. So,
I would have walked away from that one.
oh no, it was someone I knew
Must have
very
been a
well. I
good
didn't have a choice.
Must have been a good fit.
Okay, so my question is, if you were given carte blanche for someone, which I'm sure you usually are,
Yes.
at what point do you decide to put the technology in that's appropriate for their way of life?
When you're not a cook, we keep it simple.
Yeah. Okay.
Right? We keep it simple. Cooktop, we're not doing a big 60-inch range with the double oven and the griddle and the grill. We're just going to do a drop-in cooktop,
Mhm.
simple ovens. We're not going to go technological. But with a real cook, there are products, Wolf products and Sub-Zero products
Yeah.
that are just amazing. They're basically cooking for you.
Right, but
I like
very
that
hard
idea.
to
So
get
if you're-
at the moment, right? I mean, everything is back ordered.
Right now, appliances are anywhere from 5 months to a year.
Oh Lord,
Yeah,
what's taking
so-
a year?
The Wolf dual fuel, so it's electric ovens
and gas, like
with gas on the
same
top.
thing as
I just heard
now.
this morning,
Wow.
this probably isn't great for Wolf, but they are 11 months. The lead time is 11 months. A refrigerator is 6 to 7 months. So if you're remodeling, first thing to order.
Right.
is
But for a
the
client like
appliances.
that, for instance, let's really think about that. So, there's certain things that aren't going to be delivered on time. What are the smaller things that you can satisfy a client with? So are you hiding the incredible coffee pot behind doors? Does everybody want hoods over their stoves? I mean, what are kind of like the cool little things that people want that are super custom, right?
Decorative hoods. I'm doing a lot of beautiful painted metal hoods.
Really?
It's like an automobile finish
Okay,
on
that I
metal.
understand.
With high
lacquer.
sheen,
Lacquer.
lacquer,
Yeah.
That's cool.
stainless
Yeah.
steel, brass. Really
Yeah.
beautiful. And then no one wants to see anything on their countertops.
Never.
So I have this wonderful thing in my showroom. They're bifold pocket doors. So I have a 6
I
foot
saw that today.
open cabinet
Yeah.
that I can close with bifold doors like in the olden days.
Yeah.
But these will pocket away.
And they're
so when it's
beautifully
open,
done.
it's truly open. They
Ryan
glide.
performed that for
Yes,
me. They glide
right.
like
a
it's
dream.
amazing. Did you see that?
That's beautiful.
You gotta see
And
that.
everything
That's
goes away.
beautiful.
So
Yeah.
you're finished breakfast and you close it. It looks like a wainscot wall.
So
It's
that's
just-
the other trend, right? It's just that people want things very simple,
clean and simple.
clean,
very.
and I'm curious to know what's like the most outrageous custom thing that somebody's asked for.
Well, what I've been doing is wallpaper, custom wallpaper in kitchens.
Okay, so that brings me to my next question.
Mhm.
Now, I walked into your design atelier today, and I was shocked to see De Gournay wallpapers were represented by you.
Yes.
I love that because I love their products.
But that's behind glass.
That's
right? You
behind
put it in
glass. Yes,
Right,
behind,
right. You'd have to
behind
put
the
it
range
behind
is
something.
behind glass. Then
Right.
I also have it in the bar, but that's a gold,
Gold
leaf
leaf.
foil.
Right.
So that's
Somewhat-
that's somewhat
washable
durable
and-
because
yeah.
it's
And you're not getting grease on a bar.
no.
No.
But this goes to the kitchen as a living room.
Right.
Bringing
It's part
wallpaper,
of the living area, right?
sconces, comfortable furniture,
Fireplaces.
soft fireplaces, because people are truly living in their kitchen. And what I like to do is create a cooking area and a social area in the kitchen.
Me too.
And everyone, so you're not in the way of that person that's doing the cooking.
The
and they're
cooking.
part of
Right.
it.
And
They're part of-
but the social, it's a very social space.
Yes, it
What I
is.
love about a kitchen is it's a standing room.
Yeah.
Right. So the seating I want to make high so you're not over people. So
Right.
there's just a lot of really fun things
As
you
you
can
said,
do.
Jim, it's really the heart of the home.
Right.
I mean, it is no matter
Right.
where you live.
Right.
So is there a color trend that you're seeing?
Color.
Like a paint color? Do
You
people
know,
like
we're-
white kitchens? They want black kitchens. I mean, Guy and I have a great friend who has a beautiful black kitchen.
It
It's
is beautiful,
gorgeous.
yes.
I've done a few high gloss black kitchens
Mhm.
and they're actually traditional
Yes.
and they're
Gorgeous.
magnificent.
This
I
one is
have
too.
one in high gloss black and brass and the other is high gloss black and polished nickel.
Mm.
Completely different feels.
Sure. It has to be.
Super elegant, just really wonderful.
bet.
High gloss polyester finishes are very popular.
Yes.
Very popular.
And what about?
And they're beautiful
Oh, I'm
in
sorry.
taupes and
Yeah.
flamingo pink. You can go any color.
Mm.
And
Palm Beach,
in
that's pretty.
Palm
Magenta.
Beach, in
Yeah.
magenta would be a great. This could be my next island.
It looks
would
good
be
on you.
beautiful.
I'm
It's
sure it looks good
beautiful.
on your client.
This with brass would be stunning.
Yeah,
really
that's true.
beautiful.
Right, would be really beautiful.
Yeah, exactly.
So what's the trend in hardware for your cabinets? these
Right,
days?
I was just about to ask
I
that.
know. I could hear it in your
Oh, you
head.
can.
Yeah,
Oh, that's scary.
I
Yeah.
think, brass is very unlacquered brass. When I first started in this business a few years ago, that forever brass was popular. But the problem with forever brass
It
is
wears off.
it wears off and it just doesn't wear well.
Right.
Where unlacquered brass is all the rage, and
It's
it makes
warm.
complete sense because
Is it easy to
it's-
clean off or something?
yeah, and you can let it go and
Right.
become a natural,
For
beautiful,
families,
warmer.
it's
But if you want to clean it, it's simple to clean.
right.
Okay, so
exactly.
brass is what you're
Brass
doing
and polished
mainly?
nickel.
Okay.
And polished nickel
Yeah,
is
polished
still
nickel
hot.
is definitely
It's
here
so
to stay.
elegant.
elegant. It's so elegant.
Right. It's
Mhm.
never leaving.
Yeah.
So what do you do when you walk into a small apartment here? Because a lot of people just have kind of like a place
Right.
that they
Tiny.
can, throw a suitcase in. They throw their bathing suit on there at the beach. They
Right.
kind of want just a little hut here, right?
Yes.
So what do you do for those really old fashioned kitchens that are, almost like the galley kitchens that they
Right.
used
Well,
to
I'm
have?
doing
Sure.
two. I'm doing one at the reef and
Mhm.
one down the street from the reef, and they're both galley. And one is the white glass
Right,
doors, which
right.
are fabulous, super clean, super modern.
Oh, how
It-
pretty.
it's
That must be so
It's for
pretty.
Scott Sanders, the interior
Mhm.
decorator.
Right.
And the other kitchen is for Fernando Wong.
Oh, okay.
And we
Right.
did his kitchen in a really beautiful, deep greeny brown. So it's a very earthy,
That's
but
interesting.
yet modern.
But that
They're
makes
very,
sense.
very different. Right.
Yes.
And
He's a
it's-
landscape architect.
Right,
Right,
wonderful
and
landscape
beautiful.
architect.
Yeah.
Wonderful landscape architect. So it's really for the personality.
Sure.
Who are you, and what
Yeah.
how do you feel best in a
Right.
space?
Right.
And that's what I have to understand with people.
Yeah.
I have to get to know them and feel them. And
Right. And figure out how they live.
Right.
Really how they
Right.
live. So coming from the Northeast, kitchens, it was the heart of the home. Kids come in, they throw their backpacks
Right.
down. As you say, there's a living area. They watch television. They have their snacks. Somebody's making dinner. Their doors where they can run outside. It really is kind of the central part of the home.
Yes.
So coming here and having these kitchens that are, just kind of
An accessory.
an accessory
Exactly.
almost is kind of an interesting thing that people kind of want to jump in and they want everything. They want it to look good,
Right.
but they're not using it really.
No, I don't
Right.
use my kitchen.
But accessories are very
Yeah.
important, right?
Right.
On us,
Yeah.
Jewelry is an
Absolutely.
accessory.
So,
Spouses are accessories.
I like a kitchen as an accessory because it still has to be beautiful.
That's right. That's right.
You're-
Right,
And tailored
right,
and on point.
Mhm.
right. Our
And-
kitchen in the Northeast was, kids running in and out, and
Right,
snow
mudroom.
and wet. And
Right.
so the flooring was easy to clean. How about flooring here in Florida? What are people asking for?
Flooring here, I would say, is mostly. I'm doing a cork floor.
Cork.
One
Ooh,
Cork in a
that's
kitchen?
cool.
cork in a
Ooh,
kitchen,
Now, how do you? It's
It's
so
soft.
absorbent, though.
but they seal it. It's sealed. It's not that it's
No?
not that
Okay.
absorbent. It's soft.
Right.
I mean,
So you
absorbent
have
as
to
a
be-
material or
Yes.
Yeah.
No,
Yes.
but what you have to be careful with is knives because it will cut.
Oh, sure.
It's soft
Sure.
in that manner, but the absorbency is fine.
Well, if you're living with
They're
somebody who's
sealed.
dropping knives,
Right.
I'm a complete klutz. I would drop
Right,
everything.
it's not good for you. It's
no,
not good
no.
for you.
Kitchens are not good for me. Actually.
And we do a lot of tile because most of these apartments, especially, are all tile,
Right.
stone.
Sure.
So that's very popular. But wood is more popular than anything, even here in Palm Beach.
wood.
Wood. We're doing a lot of wood floors.
So fun, interesting, right?
I don't get it.
And they're
I don't get
all
wood either.
manufactured.
Yes, of
Yeah.
course.
So they're super durable. They're
Really?
fantastic.
How do
'Cause
they? How do they
s-
deal? How do they live with salt water? Is it okay?
It's great. Yeah,
Really?
they're great. Most
Yeah.
of them. We do a lot of laminates as well, and they're waterproof.
Right.
Oh.
right.
So they look like
Oh,
wood. Like in my
yes.
studio, I have a laminate walnut floor,
Mm.
and people
So
think
is that
it's
what that
pretty.
is?
and people thinks everyone thinks it's real.
So
what about
pretty.
tile that looks like wood?
I like it, but I don't like tile in a kitchen because if you drop something,
It's going to crack.
it shatters.
Right. Right.
So
Jim,
wood or laminate are my favorite things.
Okay.
To use.
how did your career go into the kitchen?
I started
area design?
from my architectural degree in LA. I went to Denver and worked for the people that did the Denver International Airport. So I did commercial architecture for the first 5 years of my life.
That's
And I wasn't
interesting.
designing.
You mean that airport with the big,
Yes.
huge white tents?
Yeah, with the tents.
Yes.
It's a wonderful
It's
building.
a wonderful
It's a
building.
wonderful building.
Right.
I love the experience, but I wanted to design. I
That
wanted
was
to get
pretty
my,
iconic. That must
Yes.
have put you on the map.
It did. It was.
Oh,
It was.
yeah.
It was wonderful.
Right.
So I went from there to Aspen, Colorado, and worked for a kitchen firm.
Oh.
I met someone, and I just thought it
Love
would
Aspen.
be. I tried it, and I loved it, and that was 35 years ago.
And are you an amazing cook? Is that
I
kind
am.
of you?
I
You love
love-
you
I
love being
love
in
to
the
cook. I
kitchen.
love
All right,
to
so when are we
entertain.
coming over for dinner?
Soon.
Jayne and I just
Mid-December
invite ourselves
already.
over.
Right.
So,
Absolutely.
what are the special things that you have in your kitchen?
Yeah.
In my
That a
ki-
listener
in
might
my-
be interested in hearing.
Well, I think I have the appliance garages. I have German refrigeration, which I love, Liebherr.
Well, what's
Wonderful
special about
technology.
that, though, for somebody who's listening?
They have different drawers, hold things. You can hold food
Different
longer,
capacities.
different capacities, different. You can, and it's just more adjustable
Mhm.
than the American refrigerator.
And they haven't been
Um,
so difficult to get,
No, that's
which
right.
is strange.
The German,
right?
well, it's China.
Oh,
A lot of the parts are the problem is the parts.
the parts,
They're coming-
right? But the actual refrigerator
Right.
has. I know.
Milla and Liebherr coming from Germany are easier
Right.
to get
Right.
Wow, interesting.
because all the parts are coming from those countries.
Right.
Right. Okay. Anything else in your kitchen?
In my kitchen, great tile. It's aesthetic.
It's
I have a
aesthetic.
really good
Okay,
hood.
Gotcha.
A really good blower that we have to get the food smells out of the house.
Yes, exactly.
Wonderful tile.
Right.
Good, and places
great.
to
It sounds great.
to hold all of my small appliances.
Mhm.
I like that.
Tall
Those little
pantries.
garages, right?
Everything, and I open doors and everything's behind. I can see everything. So I'm
Mhm.
not opening and closing doors. I find the less doors, the better.
So everything has to be very neat, right?
No, they're
No.
behind doors. They're just
They're
big
hiding.
doors.
They're
They're
hiding.
big
They're hiding.
doors.
They're
Big
hiding.
Okay.
doors.
They're not transparent
Big
doors.
doors.
So I have a
No,
question. We were talking
no.
about hoods. So many small homes and condos here in Palm Beach have no exhaust systems. Which
No,
I think is
mine here doesn't.
Okay, so tell me, how do you deal with that? You just have a recycling.
I open
air.
the window,
Yeah, hello.
and
That's
I have to watch what I cook.
Yeah,
In the
right,
Northeast, I have the big house with the big hood.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but here you
Yeah.
cook
That's what
bacon
we
and you
do.
smell it for
Right.
weeks.
No, we
Well,
we open
you
the
open the
door.
You open the
Yeah.
door.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's just, it's unreasonable to me to think that all these buildings were built with no exhaust. You know why? Because nobody thought anyone was ever going to cook.
Right.
Nobody
That's the
thought
bottom line.
anybody was going to live here full time.
Right,
either.
right,
And
that's
the
true.
other
I
thing.
mean, it
That's
was,
true.
Absolutely.
yeah.
And people are really living here. So my
No
client
question.
base here, 50% of my client base are full-time residents.
Right, because
Wow,
you also
wow.
have a large business in an office actually in Short Hills, New
Yes,
Jersey, right?
Yes. Yes.
So a lot of your clients are also coming here
Yes,
as well.
and that's why I started I followed them here. They
Right.
brought me down here. And of course I discovered Palm Beach and said,
Not
Like
bad,
here.
right?
not bad.
Yeah.
So 10 years after I discovered it, I bought something and I'm so happy I
It did
did.
take you a while.
So we
It
ask
did.
all of
It
our
did.
we ask
I
all
wanted
of
to be
our
sure.
guests.
Yeah.
We ask all of our guests
Yes.
what their favorite things are in Palm Beach. So if you have a
Besides us.
besides us
Yes.
and our podcast at Perfectly Palm Beach, but if you had a guest coming in from out of town
Mm-hmm.
for the weekend, describe a perfect day.
Perfect day.
Yeah.
Where would you take them?
Where would you take them?
First thing, we walk down and go for a long walk on the beach. Come back. I live near the Par 3 golf course. So breakfast on the terrace is a
Good.
wonderful way to start the day.
It is wonderful.
Overlooking the ocean and the golf
Overlooking
course
it's
is
so
beautiful.
it's just stunning.
It
and I like
is.
it there during the day because you can see the ocean at
That's
night.
right.
Really. So it's really a daytime.
And it's one of the
I
very
agree.
few places on the island where you can really sit
Right.
outside.
and the
Right.
food is
And
decent
eat.
and consistent.
Yes,
Exactly.
especially for breakfast and lunch. It's wonderful.
Yes.
And then the other great place where I'm taking my children tonight, we're going for a tour of the breakers.
Yum.
Of course, as an architect,
Beautiful.
you have to show
It's
off
fabulous. Yes.
the breakers
too.
we're so proud of. And
Yes.
we're having cocktails at the waterfront bar there, that seafood bar.
Oh, the
Seafood
seafood bar. Oh,
Which-
I love the
with
seafood
the
bar.
with the aquarium out at the bar. My
Yeah.
children, they're grown-ups.
They're
but
grown people.
They will love it.
That is the place
Mhm.
where it's been renovated, but they did keep that, and we've had
Yes.
I don't want to even admit to everybody how many New Year's Eves that I've been at the Breakers, and my kids literally when they were little they
Aw.
loved watching the fish.
It's great.
It's so much fun.
I like the Norton Museum.
Mhm.
Getting
Beautiful.
over,
Very good
getting
one.
over to West Palm Beach.
Yes.
I like dining in West Palm Beach.
Mhm.
It's a
What's your
more-
favorite restaurant?
My favorite, I like Grotto for casual.
Okay.
Yeah.
And I
Clay-
like
Clay does an
Prestige.
amazing job
I like
there.
the French in West Palm
Mhm.
Beach. I enjoy that environment.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
Wonderful.
In Palm Beach, I like everything.
Yes, I know.
We don't
I
have
know
anything
also.
bad
No,
here,
I
really.
love Bricktops, for its local. I love the
local
bar
flavor.
there. Yeah, it's a very good spot.
That's really great. So how does everybody find you?
Everyone can find me at dubdesignstudio.com.
Love that. Good.
That's it.
Good.
Jim Dove.
Good.
Google Jim Dove Kitchens.
Good. Love
Perfect.
You'll
that.
get pages and pages and pages of information.
I
Love
love
that.
that.
Well, you're the source. You're the
The
kitchen
kitchen
source.
superstar.
Thank you.
That's right.
Yes.
Exactly.
We love that.
It's been wonderful.
Well, it's so interesting, really,
Amazing, actually.
to hear, that that people want the simplicity.
Yes.
But
But they want to spend a lot of money on their kitchen.
That's right.
Well,
but
even though they don't use it.
Simple does not mean not exciting.
exactly.
No, of course.
Right? I mean, if you
That's
come
right.
to my studio, there's a lot going on, but there's not a lot going on. It's very
Mm-hmm.
quiet, but I use some really wonderful color. The architecture is simple, but there's a lot of impact
Right.
because of the wallpaper, because of the colors, because of the finishes, because of the furniture.
Right.
There's layers.
It's not what
there.
you would expect
Right.
when you
Right.
go in there.
Yeah.
It's not like a bunch of cheap kitchen cabinets in
No.
different colors.
I really
Right.
designed it for when you walk in to let it feel like a living room.
It actually envelops you.
It's an environment.
And-
it's just not a kitchen showroom.
Right.
Exactly.
It's a living environment. It's
Yeah.
a lifestyle environment.
Well, thank you so much for coming into Perfectly Palm Beach. We're so happy that people like you are in Palm Beach.
That's right. Thanks, Jayne.
It's
Thank
just
you.
fantastic.
Thank you for having me.
Yeah, thanks for coming.
Wonderful.
Good.
Thank you.